All right, we're live. This is Mad Broadcast number 13. Special guest tonight, Dave Lee, also known as Dad. All right, he's here to join us tonight. He's streaming in from Florida. Um, and I wanted to have him on tonight because, just like the rest of us on here, he's pretty much a like-minded individual like us. He he's awake and knows what's going on in the world, and I guess I would call it he's black pilled like the rest of us. Okay, so let's
What's that?
black pilled. So that's basically like you are aware of the truth. You're awake to know. You're awake to the fact of what's going on in the world, and that what the government feeds us as far as information goes is a bunch of fucking bullshit and propaganda.
I think it means almost the same thing as red pill.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah,
It's pretty much the same difference.
yeah. I've got so much red pill, I shit them out.
That's what I'm saying. Let's see who's in the house here. We've got Pilgrim Prepper. What's up? Doc Angel. What's up, my sister? Um, I saw that you sent me an email. I didn't get time to open it up, Doc Angel, but I'll check that out after the broadcast. I just noticed that now. Dragon Lady's here. Let's see. Dragon Lady says she is busy in the kitchen making zucchini bread. But she said that's all good as long as you're listening. Tiny Titan Laurie's here. What's up? Willow, hello. Mad and Dad.
Hmm.
All right. Um. So how was everybody's week and what's going on in your areas? That's how I like to always start off the broadcast. Any intel anybody wants to share, go ahead, do so in the comments. I'll post it up on the screen here. Um, Other than that, we'll jump into tonight's broadcast. We're going to kind of switch gears a little bit and jump down the rabbit hole. All right, we're going to take a deep dive and talk about some stuff that I've been actually itching to talk about for quite some time here. Um, and that's particularly the UFOs, or this alien talk that we're seeing a lot of. Um, some of the events that's taking place around the world, and in particular our own state of Hawaii, how they're being devastated right now with this current situation, and some of the videos that I'm seeing coming in is just horrific. Um, and from what I understand, the death toll is close to 100. It's probably more than that by now as of this broadcast, and they're expecting more deaths to be reported. So we're going to jump into talking about the wildfires and what may or may not have caused them, and basically how to prepare for an event like that in our own area, in our own neck of the woods. So, Caitlin L., what's up? So yeah, let's get it started. What do you think is going on with these fires? And before you comment, Dad, um, just a couple facts about these fires. It's taken pretty much wiped out the whole town of Lahaina. Okay, and that's located on the island of Maui. All right, and basically what's going on over there is that town of Lahaina has mostly been destroyed. Okay, and like I just said, the death toll as of tonight so far is nearing 100. All right, and that's expected to climb in the coming days as they dig through the rubble. All right, 2,700 structures have been destroyed. Now, did you see pictures of the devastation, the destruction that's happening over there, Dad?
I have. It looks like a war zone.
Yep.
It definitely looks like an explosion.
Yep.
Now, what I have seen from a video, several of them, a direct energy weapons beam was caught live one of the clips. And if anybody doesn't know what them are, um, research it and look and see what it is. It looks like a ray of sun flame, and it's hot. You can tell it's hot. You can tell it's not anything a book of matches would do. And my thing is about them is the white hats control them, and so doesn't the deep state. So what bothers me is that we still don't have control over the complete mess that our country is in.
Yeah.
I understand that town that they was completely destroyed. It was targeted to be a smart city. And if anybody doesn't know what a smart city is,
I did hear that.
You heard that?
I did hear that
Okay.
it was targeted to be a smart city, and there's a lot of twisted. I don't want to say the word twisted. There's a lot of fascinating stories coming out behind the the exact cause of these fires, you know, and um, again, what sticks out to me is nobody knows the exact cause of these fires. According to a bulletin that CBS News put out, and take it with a grain of salt. I mean, it is CBS News; it's mainstream media. Um, they're saying that the National Weather Service made Maui aware that the area was basically declared a red flag zone. And what that basically means is that it's the conditions, the weather conditions over there, they're dry for long periods of time. And when that happens, the fuel that is for these fires that have occurred is dry as well, such as trees, you know. And they're also blaming it on low humidity and high winds um, that basically made the conditions for the wildfires a lot worse. I guess there's a hurricane churning up several hundred miles off of the coast of Maui. And according to the governor over there of Hawaii, he blames global. He said global warming is the blame, combined with drought, combined with a superstorm, with a hurricane several hundred miles offshore that was generating high winds. Now, the point that you brought up about the direct energy weapons, there are a lot of videos coming out. And I'm not going to sit here and say 100% that, yes, a direct energy weapon was involved in it, because for me to come out 100% and say that and then have it turn around to be not the fact, that just doesn't make me look too good. And um, I don't want to like start spreading, you know, false information, particularly to an event that has claimed so many lives. But I am interested in knowing about direct energy weapons and what they're used for. And again, the video and the footage that I'm seeing a lot on my Twitter feed, for instance, is people showing videos of what you just said, that beams coming down and pretty much lighting up structures. So I did some research on direct energy weapons and what people call as DEWs or do. Basically, what it is, it's a ranged weapon that damages its target with highly focused energy without a solid projectile. So basically, what they're using is lasers, right, and particle beams, and in some cases, for non-lethal purposes, they use sound beams. Um, and the scary thing about direct energy weapons, Dad, is that they can be used discreetly. So that's something that makes my antennas go up. And with all the stories that are going around with, you know, there was a story about Bill Gates out there, right? And I think it was like what, Oprah Winfrey, and they were trying to acquire land out there, if I'm not mistaken. Did you hear anything about that?
Yep. That was again, that all ties in with the smart city agenda.
Yeah. Okay.
So that part is true. And it's funny, her property is not that far away, and there's nothing happened to her place.
I did see
It's
that.
intact. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
intact.
Yeah.
And we all know about Oprah. She's part of the deep state and the cabal, child trafficking,
Yep.
and
A
she's,
lot of those celebrities are. It's sickening.
yep, yeah, definitely not one of my favorite persons.
Yeah. Um, do you think that our government would use direct energy weapons against us to uh, achieve a political goal or an agenda? And that question goes for the chat
Absolutely.
too. Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, I believe that 100%. With the Biden regime that's in office right now, um, and it'll come out into the facts that 9/11 was used against our own people. Yeah, I believe they would, if they could make money, and if they could satisfy their own agenda. You and I ain't safe. That's why they have to go.
Yeah. I agree. A lot of people are looking at this current administration as being Obama's third term. Um, and basically, Biden is just a puppet being controlled by Obama. And I did see some, there's some hints and some whispers out there that Michelle Obama might be throwing her hat in the ring to declare uh, she's running for president for 2024.
Well,
So, I mean,
you know what that is, right? That's bullshit.
yeah. I'm absolutely with you as far as our government testing or using weapons against their own civilians. Um, you know, I talked about last week's live stream, we were talking about Operation Northwoods and what surrounded that. And after learning about that particular instance, it really did open my eyes more to the fact that yeah, our government would definitely, if it helps a political agenda or achieve a goal, they would definitely put us in harm's way.
Well, the cabal and the deep state have been around for oh, hundreds of years. Not too
Yeah.
many people realize that. They think that deep state and the cabal is something new, and it really isn't. Um, that's one of the reasons why they all hate Donald Trump. He's not a globalist, and he wants to expose and eliminate the deep state and the cabal.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying that the globalists were are behind this situation that is taking place in Hawaii with the fires. Because again, nobody knows the exact cause. You know, a lot of people coming out and blaming global warming. And then again, I'm not coming out and saying that this is definitely the cause, a direct, that a DEW is definitely the cause, but I have questions, just like everybody else on here has questions. And, it does raise that question, given what the government, the shit that they have fucking pulled on us, um, pretty much for the past 40, 50 years. I wouldn't put it past the sons of bitches to um, use a direct energy weapon against us, right?
Well, we know that somebody didn't ride by in a car and flick out a cigarette butt
No,
and start that fire.
no, that's for sure. That's for sure. Um, so yeah, it's we'll see what the next couple days brings on that and what comes out of it. In the meantime, just be open minded, guys, as far as um, what your thoughts are as far as this devastating situation over in Hawaii. Um, because again, there's a lot of weird news coming out about it. I heard something about the fire department chief wasn't there. Um, the head of FEMA or something wasn't around. There was some key figures that weren't present on Maui. Okay, when these fires broke out, and I don't know if anybody in the chat wants to chime in and add to that if you have any more information. But what's up, Sam? Cynthia, I see you. All right. But yeah, again, the end all be all. There's a lot of weird news coming out on this. So I'm gonna sit on it for a couple of days because I don't want to jump too far ahead of myself on what could be the cause. But yeah, definitely keep your eyes on it.
Well, another sad fact is, Ray, that is FEMA is over there right now, and they're blocking food, water, and medical supplies coming in.
Really?
Why would they do that?
Yeah, that's interesting. Why do you think they would do that?
Because FEMA and the Red Cross are deep state affiliated. They
Okay.
want to try to, like I told, like I'm saying, they want a 15-minute city, and they'll use whatever means necessary to achieve what they want.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't last 10 minutes in a 15-minute city.
Why? What would happen?
It would become a 0-minute city.
All right. Shit. I'm just checking out the comments. Willow says the sirens were not working. I did see um, a story about that. There's, again, a lot of weird shit coming out about these fires. What did Sam say?
Well, I see what Willow wrote, but the sirens were actually turned off.
Okay.
That's like the buoys out here in the Atlantic Ocean down here by Florida and the Bahamas for any
Yeah.
tidal waves.
Yeah.
I don't know if any, not too many people know this, but they were turned off for 2.5 years.
Really?
So if a tsunami was coming, we wouldn't know it until we woke up floating up to see you in Rhode Island.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been good. Doc Angel, kids are gonna go missing. You're talking about over in Hawaii, Doc Angel? Because I did hear, if you're referencing Hawaii, I did hear the same thing. Apparently, school was canceled, and a lot of the kids were home alone when these fires ignited, and a lot of these parents of these children were away from home because they're at work. So yeah, um, it's sad, it's unfortunate, and I did see that a lot of kids are probably going to be part of this death toll over there. So
Well, there was a couple of witnesses saying that they were standing there looking at people as that was happening, and they were just disintegrating, blowing up. That's how much force was behind that.
that's, I've never heard of that. I mean, that's like, I saw pictures of a main street and it showed cars just charcoaled and structures. And it's like what you just said. It looked like a war zone. And it looked like I was looking at photos of Hiroshima, from when we dropped the bomb on them back in 1945. It looks like a, and to my eyes, it looks like a weapon of mass destruction was used. And how is it that people would just pretty much disintegrate like that? It's incredible. Yeah.
You see,
Okay.
there's a lot of force behind them. There's a lot of force behind them weapons, but they're not like a nuclear weapon where, neighborhoods and countries are destroyed. It's just where that particular part was aimed at.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard that again. Some more information about the direct energy weapons says that the lasers travel at light speed and have long range, making them suitable for space warfare. So this is something that obviously that could have been shot directly from outer space. If that was the case, um, or again, it could just be what good old CBS News is saying, a global warming problem. Who knows? But again, lots of weird news coming out on it. I'm gonna put that up on a shelf for now. As far as what's going on in Hawaii, I don't want to get too much into it because again, I don't know all the facts yet, but it's devastating what's going on over there. So, Dad, let me ask you this: what do you think about all this UFO talk that's coming out of the government nowadays? And you would think that before you go to answer that question, you would think that storylines or headlines talking about aliens and UFOs would be probably some of the biggest news that we could hear or see in the history of this modern world, right? Um, but people are kind of just like, yeah, whatever. What do you think's going on? Do you think it's a distraction, or do you actually think that there are UFOs and there are actually little green men landing um, here, crash landing here on planet Earth? And do you have any stories that you might want to share pertaining to UFOs or aliens?
Well, I've only told one person this, and that was my wife of 33 years. And I told you this afternoon.
Yep. This is why I wanted you on.
When I was 17, me and three of my buddies, we wanted to go out and go camping and go fishing for the weekend. We were going to get a keg of beer Friday night, go sit and drink beer and smoke.
So this was back in 1975, right? Just
when I was 17. Yeah.
Okay, so back in 1975. Okay.
See, I'm the type of person that don't believe anything unless I see it, taste it, and touch it. So before what happened, I would say no. But my buddy says, "Hey, I know of a spot where we could go for the weekend." He says it's way out in the woods. It's off of a dirt road. I said, "Okay." I said, "Let's go check it out." So we got in my car. We picked up. Now I'm going to tell you my age right now when I tell you this, but we picked up an 8-pack of 8-ounce beers. They called them ponies back in the day. So there was 8 beers, okay, 8 ounces, and we cranked one of them open and we were drinking them, and we were driving down this dirt road. We got down there. We're heading down there, and you could tell that not too many people have been down there because there was broken branches, laying in a dirt road part. So we get about 2.5 miles down the road. My buddy Lenny says, "Dave, it's right over there on the left." So we pulled the car over. We got out. We took our beer with us. Now, again, there was only one beer so far. We went around and we seen a pond that was huge. I said to my buddies, I said, "Damn, there's got to be a lot of fish in here." So we're walking around and we're, trying to figure out what part of the place we're going to build our fire, because we're going to stay there the weekend. We're going to make a party out of it, all 4 of us. And I'm looking up at the trees because I didn't want to build a fire and set the woods on fire. So I didn't want no overhead branches, in the flames way.
Yeah. A lot of dead.
So I'm looking up at the trees, and I happen to look up at the sky, and I seen the brightest star that I've ever seen in my life. Bright, real bright. Almost hurt your eye to look at it. And my buddies come over and said, "Dave, what are you looking at?" And I said, "Look at that star up there." I said, "Look how bright it is." I said, "You ever see a star that bright?" So we're all standing there looking at it, and all of a sudden it started to move. And my buddy Lenny said, "Dave, that's an airplane." I said, "Okay." So we're watching this thing, and all of a sudden it stopped in midair. And I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know too many planes back in 1975 that would stop in midair." So we're standing there watching it. Now we're really studying this. So then it went in reverse. Okay. I says, "I don't know." Okay. Now we know it's not a plane and we know it's not a star. And one of my other buddies says, well, maybe it's a helicopter. I said, okay, maybe. So we're standing there talking and we're looking at it. And as quick as you can snap your fingers, it was right at the top of the treetops. No sound. You couldn't hear nothing. No motors, no engine, no rotors. And it lit up that whole area like it was daylight, like it was like we're at a football game at night.
Yeah.
You know how bright them are at night?
Yeah.
And I'm standing there looking at it, and my buddy Lenny and Louie and everybody, they started running back to the car. Now, you got to understand, and you got to know a guy named Louie that we were buddies with. He had ice water in his veins, and he made it back to the car first. And he kept yelling, Dave, come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. I said, nice. I want to see what this is. He said, it's a fucking UFO. Let's get out of here. So like I said, I seen that. It lit up the area. I seen it way up in the sky where it looked almost like a pin drop. Real bright. And then in the snap of the fingers, it was right at the top of the trees. And I don't know anything back then that would move that quick.
Yeah.
So we signed a pact on the way down the road. We signed a pact. We says we will not tell anybody about this because they'll throw us in Norwich Nut House. They'll think that we're way out there in left field. And we never said nothing. And the only person I ever told that happened was Pam. And now you. And now everybody on this chat.
Yeah.
Now, I believe, like I said, I believe now that there is and has been something out there. If my next door neighbor come over here tonight and come over tomorrow and said, hey, Dave, it's Tuesday and it's sunshine, I wouldn't believe him until I went to look at the calendar and stuck my head out the window to see if the sun was shining. That's just me. I don't.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's nuts. I mean, I could see.
But what else could it have been? What else could it have been?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot. There's stories coming out now about alien aircraft crash landing, and our government basically retrieving the wreckage and studying the technology that from these downed alien aircrafts and using this technology for our own purposes. I have seen.
Look at look at all the pilots. Look at all the pilots,
Yep.
Airline pilots, and our military where they've seen them. And you wouldn't find that on the 6 o'clock news. They want to try to hide it from you.
Well, of course.
Now, I don't know if anybody on this chat has ever heard of Valiant 4. Supposedly, he's an ET.
Okay.
He lived in the Pentagon for 3 years, and he was given technology to our military. Now, I'm gonna share something with everybody. I'm on a Telegram channel, and if you ever want to look me up on a Telegram channel, I'll show you stuff and send you stuff where I don't take anybody's word for anything. I peel the onion back as far as the onion will go. And on Telegram, I'm Dave, the 3 number 1s and a %sign, and then ER. That stands for 3%er. I've been a 3%er for about 8 years now. And I've got so much information that I've shared with people. And they said, well, where'd you get that? And I said, I researched it. I said, I don't take anybody's word for anything. I go back and I look until there's no place else to look, until it's at the end of the road. 9/11, COVID, the jab, and there'll be stuff coming out about Hawaii soon. And I'm gonna wait, like you, Ray. I'm gonna wait,
Yep.
and I'm gonna let everybody, talk about it, and then I'm gonna research what they researched. And we're going to find out that was done on purpose. Well, it was done on purpose. But what reason? And my gut feeling is that they want to make a 15-minute city. They want to go green over there, and
Mm-hmm.
they want to use a currency that can be tracked.
Oh, like this the CBDCs, like this central bank digital currency. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, so that they can find out where you're spending your money,
Yeah,
and
yeah. That's
that's going to stop. That cannot happen. Let it happen in China. Let it happen in Canada. Let it happen in Venezuela. But
yeah.
it can't happen in our country.
The CBDCs is one of my top three SHTF concerns. Like, if I had to break down three fingers. I had four up. I would say CBDCs is definitely one of my top three, along with the police state and obviously a total grid down um, event here. Because to jump into CBDCs for a quick second here, any purchases that you make, okay, will not be private. All right, the government will know exactly what you're buying, how much you're spending, okay, versus today where you could walk into a business establishment with a wad of paper money, make your purchase, and walk out with the receipt, and nobody's going to bat an eye over it because nobody's going to know anything about it. But now, if you incorporate CBDCs and you tie in like a social credit score, for instance, um, the government can it's basically they can shut your money off. Okay, they can stop you from spending that money if you're spending it um, on the wrong things in the eyes of the government. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, I
you're
know.
right. We
I know
can't
that's
have.
what Biden. That's what Biden's plans for. He made a stupid comment 2 weeks ago that he would welcome a war, a ground war with Russia.
Yeah.
Well, every country out there knows our country. And Patriot Street Fighter, I don't know if you guys ever heard of him, Scott McKay. They did a study a year and a half ago. And out of all the armies and the militaries in the world, they have 1.40 million weapons. The military, okay? Our country has over 450 million weapons combined with people like me and you
Yeah.
in our military.
Yeah.
They would any country that would want to invade and have a ground war with the United States, there would be guys like me and you and people on your program that would be behind every blade of grass waiting for them. I don't ever see that happening. But if this regime keeps going and another one comes in behind them and has the same agenda, they want our guns so that they can control us.
Yeah. The
And
second.
that's the only thing that's keeping us free right now
Yeah.
is we all got
Yeah,
guns.
I was just gonna
And
say that.
all you hunters like you, Ray, you're sharpshooters. You're like snipers.
The Second Amendment is pretty much our last saving grace. It's
It
basically
is.
what is keeping us from going total communist. Okay,
It
and yeah,
is,
you're right.
without a doubt.
I believe
You know,
that.
um, the 3% motto is we're America's last defense, but we're not alone. We got the veterans and we got the military behind us. Not the woke military, not the military that Milley, General Milley, the guy that wears a skirt and lipstick. You know what I'm talking about? That sits down to take a piss.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
the real military, the ones that we don't see on TV, are the best military in the world. China might have, more people, more, the technology there, but our military is second to nobody. I'm not worried one bit about them coming to shore over here in Tampa or Atlantic Beach and landing and having a ground war. I'm not. And either should anybody else.
well, yeah, definitely. The vast majority of Americans are armed. Um, And I think if they wanted to try some Red Dawn shit on us, they would find out the hard way. Okay,
Yeah,
because
they would.
but
And
here's the
here's the
thing.
thing.
Go ahead.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Um, we can never comply. If they come to your door and they say, I want your weapons, well, hold out one hand and shit in the other and see what fills up quickest. We have to stand and do not comply with anything no more. They fooled us with fear back when it was when
2020.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they and you can't blame people for being scared. But that'll never happen again in our country. We'll never comply and sit down and take their bullshit again.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to think that if it comes down to, if push comes to shove, okay, and we are faced with the fact that we do or would have to defend ourselves for an invasion, if we would be organized enough to do so. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah,
saying? Okay.
I don't think anybody needs to. They shouldn't lose any sleep about the United States being once we are poked in the eye. They should not have any fear about anybody overthrowing our country with ground troops.
Okay. What do you think is going to happen in this country if Donald Trump is reelected president? Do you think you will see a lot of civil unrest out there in the streets? Do you think cities will stop burning to the ground?
No, I think just the opposite, right? I think that now that half of Congress is gone, half of the Senate is gone. Everybody says, well, Donald Trump was in office for 4 years. He didn't, he couldn't get nothing done.
Yeah.
Well, the reason he couldn't get nothing done is because of Mitch, the bitch McConnell, and Nasty Nancy Pelosi. They fought him on everything. Okay. And anybody can go back and look. If Donald Trump said, hey, look, I'm holding up a can of milk, they'd come back and say, no, you're not. You're holding up a can of gasoline. I mean, they fought this guy tooth and nail the whole 4 years while he was in. I think our country would realize, they'd take a big, deep breath and say, finally, it's over. Now we have to go forward. A lot of people don't like Trump. They said he's mean. I think he's straightforward. He shoots from the hip. He can't be bought. And hey, I voted for him once, and I'll vote for him again.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm definitely going to vote for the man if he wins a nomination for sure. I mean, hands down, because there's basically no other alternative, in my opinion. Because if Biden, okay, Doc Brandon, I like to call him, gets reelected, or if Michelle Obama ends up becoming our next president, I think this country is lost. I really do.
Well, we got to stop them from cheating. That's the thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that there is a lot of questions being raised about that, and Donald Trump does believe that the election was stolen from him, and the vast majority of Americans that voted for Trump believe that the election was stolen, and I have a lot of questions pertaining to that. There's a bunch of different stories coming out every day, still to this day, as far as election interference goes. So I mean, they used this illness a few years ago, and basically what happened was there was a lot of mail-in ballots cast, and both parties, Democrats and Republicans, have both come out and said, okay, that mail-in ballots voting is the chances for fraud increases.
Yep.
It
Yeah,
really
we
does.
knew that.
That's just a fact that's been stated on both sides of the aisle. Okay, so
Well, we gotta come up with a way, and I hate to say this, but we got to come up with a way to stop the Democrats from gaining office. Because I'll tell you what, some people might not like this, but I would trust a hooker from China with an itchy crotch and a runny nose before I would trust any Democrat.
yeah,
That's just it.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
Heat.
Oh shit, I like that. Sandy S, what's up? Pilgrim Prepper, you brought up. I know we're kind of jumping back and forth here. Um, you brought up a comment about what happened in Peru. About the face palers. Is that what you're alluding to, Pilgrim Prepper? The 7 foot tall um, aliens or ETs that are running around some village in Peru, basically terrorizing the place. Dad, did you hear anything about that?
Yeah, they were all Biden's relatives.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, Pilgrim Preppers. There we go.
No, I didn't hear nothing about that.
Can't get Pilgrim's comment up here. There it is. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I heard the same thing, Pilgrim. That's interesting. Um, Again, I know we're just jumping back and forth here. It's just, hey, guys, we're just hanging out tonight, right? You know, this is just, we're shooting the shit, hanging out by the fire. But yeah, there was just some weird story that came out in Peru, and basically the mayor of this town um, publicly stated that there are aliens invading his town and um, terrorizing their residents. Okay, so makes you kind of wonder what's going on. I'm actually gonna dig up the story myself and put it in the description box in this video after I post it. Let's see
Well,
here.
they say there's good aliens and bad aliens. So,
Yes, I saw that program. You're right. Started on July 11th over a month. Every night they are attacked. Yeah, every night they come out. They call them the face peelers. I did see that story. So,
I didn't have a hard time. They showed up in my neighborhood.
yeah, what would happen?
They would get either the 357 or the 44 Magnum or my 40 caliber.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there's just there's a lot of crazy shit going on. Um, I think some of the news that's coming out is a distraction, and that might be the unpopular opinion with some of the folks here. But do I believe that there is life out there beyond the stars here? Yeah, absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt, we can't be the only ones alone. And going back to your story that you told us back what happened to you in 1975, that's incredible. It kind of reminds me of that movie Fire in the Sky that actually took place right around the same time period that you experienced um, the event that you were involved in. And then
Well, you know,
they're saying that
I
was
swear,
based on
I
true
swear on a
events.
stack of Bibles and on your head and your sister's head and my wife's that happened.
Yeah, Pilgrim, I saw that. 7 feet tall, resembling the Green Goblin from Spider Man. Yeah, I just, I don't know what to make of it. I mean, if we're gonna be attacked by aliens and we're getting direct energy weapons shot down on us, and China wants to invade us and try to take our resources, let's just get this fucking party started already. All right? I mean, because um, I'm sitting here wishing a motherfucker would. All right, I guess if that's the way I want to put it, because the way this world is going right now, um, we need a little bit of a shake-up, wouldn't you say? Because
Absolutely.
we're circling the fucking toilet bowl as it's already going now. If you just take a look around with everything that is occurring right now in today's society, okay, versus 40, 50 years ago, basically what they predicted not even 40, 50 years ago, what they predicted 20 years ago is actually happening. All right. I mean, 30 years ago, they're predicting what actually happened is happening right now. And it's scary. Um, the book 1984. All right, I'm sure you've heard of that. It's basically based on a total totalitarian government, basically that operates under a police state that has citizens locked on the thumb, and they can't think for themselves. And it's like we're seeing that now. Um, I mentioned last week that the NASCAR driver basically shit canned his career because he hit the like button on a tweet or on social media. It's incredible. Yeah, Sandy. We got those same type of aliens up here too, up here in New England. They're all over. Yeah, folks, I appreciate that. If you would, I never ask. Um, Again, I'm just here for to engage with you guys, shoot the shit, hang out. But yeah, hit that thumbs up on the way out. All right, or thumbs down, whatever. Doesn't matter to me. All right. Yeah. Here's the good news. Here's the bright spot. I think more and more people are starting to wake up, Dad. All right, to the fact of what's going on. And that's a good thing. All right, because
Yep.
people they're starting to have enough of the bullshit. All right, and you even got like far left leaning Democrats that are coming out and starting to ask questions now, and basically um, they've had enough. Like right here, close to home, the state of Massachusetts is under a state of emergency because of all the illegals that are getting bussed in up here, from down south. The sanctuary
Right.
state of Massachusetts. Okay.
I seen that, Ray. I seen
Yep.
that.
So, I mean, there you go. At first, they were talking, before the shit hit. Okay. The government up here was basically welcoming these illegals with open arms, saying, "Hey, yeah, come on in. We're a sanctuary city. You'll be safe here. Um, we'll take care of you. We'll house you. This and that. We'll give you food." And now the governor now that she's seeing this happen and is basically we're being overrun by these illegals. She's declaring a state of emergency now. So um, there you go. That's the
Well,
consequence. That's the consequences of your actions. You know.
I had I had the address of Pelosi and George Soros. I got that on, I got their addresses, and I
Yeah.
put that on Facebook. I said, send them to these two addresses.
Yeah.
They can't wait to see them.
Yeah.
You know what? They gave me a 3-day ban.
They did. Hey, you're just trying to help out.
Yep, just trying to help the illegals out.
Yeah.
Send them to Pelosi's and send them to George Soros because I think they got pissed because that was their actual address.
Well, I mean, it's public, right? I mean, it's public information.
That's right.
So.
Yep. Just trying to help out our fellow brothers.
Yeah, that's it. What are we going on? We're going on 50 minutes here. All right, guys, we're about to wrap. Does anybody have anything they want to add? Do they have any questions for Dave? Post it in the comments. All right. And we'll
My suggestion is buy more ammo.
Yeah, keep stacking that ammo. Stack your food, your water. I just harvested a bunch of potatoes today here in my garden. Dug them up, made some nice homemade French fries. So had a nice fat juicy burger to go with it, and I'm sure that's gonna piss some lefties off, but hey, it is what it is. A burger and French fries. You can't get any more American than that. So.
Well, like I said, I gave everybody where they can locate me on Telegram, and I've got so much stuff that I can share with the people that want to hear it. So you can look me up.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna have you do when we get off is I'm gonna have you send me your Telegram contact information, and I'm gonna post it in my community. I'm gonna post it in my community section here on the channel, so people will be able to find you if that's what they want to do.
Yeah, and it's not bullshit. It's like I said, I research stuff. I peel back the onion until I get what I want to, until I get the right answer.
Yeah. So, Dad, Caitlin L says, can we get this duo more often on here?
Sure.
Yeah, Katie, I think we can make that happen. Absolutely. What else is she asking? How about more money going to Ukraine, but not Maui? Yeah, it's incredible. It's an
Yeah, I
upside
just
down.
sent Ukraine. I just sent Ukraine. Well, I flushed twice because I know it's a long ways to Ukraine.
Yeah, that's good. Oh shit.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, I mean it's incredible the amount of money, taxpayer money, we're sending over there to a cause.
And the American people are getting tired of that.
Yeah, I
You know.
mean
Yep.
they're hinting at starting a fucking draft here in America. So
Yeah.
we can draft our sons and daughters to go over and so they can be put in a fucking meat grinder over there. There you go. I see where Mag gets his humor. Yeah, Dragon Lady, the apple didn't fall far. That's for sure. All right, folks, we're going to wrap up. Dad, I'm going to have you hang out in the backstage for a few minutes after I end this, and we'll shoot the shit for a few minutes. But,
Okay.
all right, guys, I'm glad
Everybody
that.
be safe. Yeah,
Yep,
everybody be safe.
yep, be safe. Keep your heads on a swivel. Be about it. Don't talk about it. And keep preparing for what's to come. All right. Thanks for watching.